Hey everyone, welcome back to Scott's No Grid. Now today I'm going to do a review on this MaxWatt generator. Now as I've previously mentioned, moved the family out. We've been living out off grid now for about 3 months. In that time, like today's a lovely day, but in that time I think we've had, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 sunny days. It's been absolutely raining buckets and very poor solar, so we've had to rely on the generator quite a bit. Just to top up the batteries and help get through the morning rush. But essentially, when I was looking for a generator for off grid, obviously the main thing is I wanted something that would be close to the power output that I wanted. Now obviously I've got the two MGX 54/8 MPP solar, so 10 kilowatts in total. Now this is obviously 9 kilowatt kVA, but it's got a 30 amp breaker, 15 amps per plug, which gives me about 7.2 kilowatts to work with, which is more than enough to run the house. Now I know rule of thumb is you're meant to get 100% plus more, whatnot, but there was budgets involved, and I was looking for something that would obviously have 2-wire start, be able to work with my system, and this was probably the best value for money. It was under $2,000 AUD anyway, and there wasn't many reviews, so I took a bit of a risk of it, and it's been awesome. It really has. Now my previous generator was a Honda EM50IS, I think it was. Not great, it actually crapped itself, which is why I needed to get a new one, and it didn't have 2-wire start, and obviously the kit and that cost a bit more to be able to put a 2-wire start on it. But yeah, so let's and look, I don't know how many hours this has been running, but it's been running well. And look, the family knows, like for instance, if the hot water system's on and the oven's on, the microwave's on, there's very little else that can power, right? You can hear it struggle. So the family knows when it does come on that it's we're charging the top and the batteries up, and not to go too crazy with turning on everything that they can, right? So let's have a bit of a look, see at this generator, right? All right. So if you have a bit of a look here, obviously we've got our start button. It does come with remote control as well. We've got a DC out, so this is a 12 volt DC out. I've never actually used this, but it could be handy. We've got our on off, so obviously it's on at the moment. We've got a 2-wire control here, so it's currently off. We've obviously got our digital display there. Now we've got our 2-wire contact here. Now it does come with a connection. Now the connection's back at the house where it plugs in, and it's actually really nice. Instead of it just being something like this, it's a proper connection that you solder your wires to when you screw it in, which is great. We've got our 30 amp circuit breaker, so that's for everything essentially. So if that pops, neither of these work, and then 15 amp for each one of these. Now it does have obviously the pull start if you want to pull start it. 40 litre tank. Now this is actually as much as my Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, so it holds as much fuel as my Outlander. The battery, obviously, nice little 12 volt, and I really do like the handle that it comes with. Makes it easy to maneuver. So let's have a bit of a look here. So obviously we have on, we have off. We can start it up. Now it's definitely not quite, I'll give you that, but it's where this actually sits, it's in a soundproof little room. It's still a little bit noisy, but I'm going to move that generator shed / room a bit further away. Now what I've done with these and what I found out is obviously one of the biggest issues here is the how I can get the full power to my system. Now the way I've wired it up is each one of these plugs go to one of the 2 inverters. So this allows me to be able to pull as much power as I can, and since the inverters usually will evenly distribute the power that they dish out, it works out pretty well actually. I have to admit that I haven't had any big issues. I did try to wire these to the same circuit and everything else, and that was just ended up being poo. Didn't really work. But let's have a bit of a look at the 2-wire start and how it works. So actually, before I do that, we do also have, while it's off, is the remotes. Now these work like 30 meters away, and they've been pretty good. But start. Works like a treat. But let's have a look at the 2-wire start. So I'm just going to connect these cables that I've got here, since I don't have the actual connector on me. Now the way 2-wire start works is it essentially just closes the circuit. Now if you have a look at your off-grid inverter, and if it supports 2-wire start, you'll usually see that there's got 3 contacts. So one's normally open, one's normally closed, and then you've got the third connection which you always plug in. Now what that means is obviously if it's normally open, which is what this is, means that when the inverter, based on voltage or battery level or whatever it is, it'll close the circuit and basically do that one, connect it up. If it's normally closed, means that it's normally like this and you want to open it. Now I haven't seen too many normally closed circuits, but I guess they do exist. But let's have a test at this. Now this at the moment I've got this running obviously in my systems that's got the parallel inverters. Only one of them needs to be plugged in. Well, this plugged into it, and it starts and stops it, and it's been working absolutely wonderfully. There was a few little issues with battery percentage and voltages sort of working together, but it takes a bit of time and you finally fine tune it. But let's turn on the 2-wire start. Now if you've got 2-wire start on, the remotes and stuff won't work, so I can press that till I want, or I can press this. It doesn't do anything, right, because it's relying on that 2-wire start. Now hopefully, if this has all worked, I should just be able to connect these and it just starts. Works like a dream. So yeah, so obviously it's a full stroke. Just runs on petrol. And look, I don't know how many hours it's been running now. I actually don't know if it shows, to be honest. Actually I think it does. It's so this has actually got 185 hours that's been running for while I've had it. So like everything, I like everything I review. I like to at least use it for some time to see how it works. I'm going to give it a service today, which is why it's out, and I thought, hey, may as well do a video on it too, because it's something I've been meaning to do. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Definitely recommend this MaxWatt generator. Like as I said, I've had no issues with it. Yes, they are cheaper than the other ones out there. Yes, it is a little bit noisy, but it ticks all the boxes for what you need, and what you need on a budget. That's especially important for myself. Alright, and I didn't want to go diesel either, because it would be the only diesel thing that I had out here. And when I've got petrol, I just go and get petrol, and it's for the quad bikes and for the bikes and for the farm car, and everything else is petrol. So I'm like, well, at least we can, fill up the jerry cans and we can put it into anything rather than having just diesel for this sitting around. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed. yeah, if you've got any recommendations on other generators, would love to hear it, because at the end of the day, this will probably end up giving up at some stage, but and I'll be looking at getting a new one. So yeah, let us know, and yeah, stay safe out there. I'll see you next time. See you, bye.